Hello, Gaston County. Welcome to episode number 190. You can believe that, of Gaston's Great, a podcast highlighting some of the great things happening in and around Gaston County. I'm your host, Stephen Long. We're coming to you once again from the worldwide headquarters of GSM Services right here in downtown Gastonia. We simply believe in discussing more of the reasons why Gaston's great. We have another great, I normally say organization, but I'm going to say event that we're going to talk about this week as we highlight the Ready, Set, Grow Back to School event. We have Sarah Miller, Bree Thurman, and Joe Bell with us today. Sarah is the chairman of the Early Literacy Collaborative.
Yes.
Okay. And Bree is the outreach coordinator for Gaston County Public Library, and Pastor Joe from Eastside Church, and also Gaston Hope in Christ. So, did I get that relatively accurately? Accurate? Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, listen, we're very glad to have you guys on, and I'm interested to hear about this event. But the first thing we like to do, and sorry, Sarah, you're closest, so you get the first question. For our listeners, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the event after everybody gets a chance to share anything you want to share.
So I work for the Gaston County Public Library as a assistant director for branch and outreach services. So I started in children's services, and early literacy is my heart. I'm going to say that every child, even before they're born, needs to be read to. So the Early Literacy Collaborative came about actually because of the health department, because they also realize that everybody needs to learn to read, and that literacy builds health. And that's what my 3-inch notebook looks like, because we've been doing this since 2014. So we get into this because school readiness is really important, and we need to start right away. And so we focus on school readiness. We focus on summer learning.
Okay.
All summer reading is really important to us at the library. And then our third thing is school readiness.
Uh-oh.
I know, I already forgot what it is.
We got to bring out the Google.
I forgot to add that to the note. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's all right.
But we have.
I'm sure it'll come to you.
There's three important things.
So you're fitting right. You're fitting right in with me and Gaston's grade here.
That's good.
But what day is it, by the way?
Our whole thing is supporting families as they get ready for
So how did you
school,
get into this? I mean, what brought you to this career path? That this was so important to you?
Well, Joe and I were actually talking about this right before we started this. I was a huge reader when I was young, and Mrs. Beck was my librarian in Worthington, Minnesota, and she would give me, the Nancy Drews, but then she was giving me like Little Women and Jane Eyre, and I was
some
10.
heavier classics.
Yes, yeah,
different.
And I was
Nancy
10 years
Drew.
old, and I was going through them, and so she just inspired that love of reading, and I was successful in school because I read so much.
Oh,
so
good. Yeah, that's well, we maybe talk about reading specifically with the younger generation and like my children as an example. Bree, what about you? What would you like to share about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Bree Thurman Wilson.
Okay.
Had to add that Wilson in there. I am born and raised.
Is that a relatively new thing?
Well, you just
No?
didn't say it, so I was like,
sorry.
let me just add that in there.
Sorry.
I was born and raised in Gastonia. My entire life is off of Union Road.
Oh, excellent.
I never would have imagined myself like 15 years ago doing this.
Okay.
Especially like I used to think I'm going to be a high school teacher. I do not like working with small children.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm like, they're too emotional, and I get emotional, and I desperately needed money. I got a call from Julie Shatterly at WA Best to substitute teach in her library. And I thought, okay, I'm doing this. I did my first story time, and I fell in love.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't looked back since. So that's where my passion lies, is just like creating those memories with kids.
It's interesting how sometimes the path just shows up, right?
Yeah, in the same library I fell in love with, right? Because I went to WA Best. So it's like, wow, full circle moment.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school at Forest View.
Okay.
Class of 2013.
Okay. Yeah, my kids are just a couple years, just barely behind you.
Okay.
I see all three of mine are Forest View Jaguars as well. Joe, we only have a few minutes. Okay, so we're gonna can y'all put a time limit on him for his question? So, Joe, for our listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I pastor Eastside Church of the Nazarene on Redbud, and I worked for the Y for 8.5 years. And when I was finishing that, I had parents who told me we need help for our kids, and we started a tutoring program in 1999. So when I met these ladies, it was mid-teens maybe. We had been working with elementary students in middle school. So our target is 3rd through 8th grade. Well, this is early literacy. Oh, but man, the first couple of times I went in, they were throwing the facts at me about what happens to our literacy. Over half of it's before we're 2. And I got on board. And I have done library substitute work, and I love that to death. But it's because the kids I meet who have trouble in 3rd grade, that could be traced back to what happened before they were born, or when their parents were working 2 or 3 jobs and nobody was reading to them. And
right.
So that got me on board, and we've had a blast doing Ready, Set, Grow. Last year was a lot more rushed. We're a lot more prepared and ready this year. It's going to be a great event. Okay.
So that was a good segue. So, again, you're close to Sarah, and I heard chair of something. So that means you're in charge? Is that right? Does that mean you're in charge?
Yes.
So just tell us about the event. What's the mission? What is it that you guys are trying to accomplish? And then we'll just let them add in as needed.
So the mission, the reason it happened through the collaborative is because as a library staff, we were doing outreach during that hot summer days of July and August, like in a neighborhood or at a rec center.
Okay.
And it was just piecemeal. Everybody, a church was doing it, so we showed up. Then we decided, okay, let's do this together. If we can have one place and all these organizations come together, that reduces the amount of time that we're spending out, trying to reach all these people, gives us one location, one place where everybody can, bring all your things together,
sure.
Bring all your
sure.
supplies together, one place, and reach a lot more people. So, and I think the whole mission is to support families as they begin school. It's a very hard time of the year. It's expensive, and we want to support those families and let them know, you not only do we supply you with school supplies, but we also, all these organizations are standing behind you to support you for after school care, for tutoring help, for health reasons. We're all here behind to support you and lift you up as you go back to school. So that's part of that mission.
So is this, how is this year 2? Year 2. So were all of you involved last year?
Yes. We've got our shirts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so these are repeats from last year. We got new shirts for this year, I hope?
Yes.
Okay. Same color, same design? Are they red?
They are not. They're green. Sorry.
Okay. Nobody's perfect.
Although a sponsorship next year might change that color.
Wow, that was good. That's what I get for opening my mouth on that one. So let's just maybe describe the event. I mean, describe what is happening, and let's just go ahead and get it out there. When and where, and then talk about specifically who are you targeting, all that.
It is very broad. We try to make sure that it's inclusive to pre-K through 12th. It's very low barrier in terms of give us your zip code as a student and first name, and
there's not a limit based on where you are. It's just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just trying to collect that data so that we can then bring it to other people and say, hey, look at what the need, look at where we're meeting the needs. Y'all, we hoped for 300.
We were scared it was going to be 100 or 200.
And it was 1,400, all in the Eastridge Mall.
1,400.
And everybody gives us looks. Why at the Eastridge Mall? One reason: air conditioning. Yeah. And that makes all
late
the
July,
difference.
early August. Yeah, that's kind of important.
Especially for those.
Yeah, and frankly, air conditioning is the most important invention of all time.
Yes, take that.
I love it.
And the thing Sarah said earlier about not doing 20 different things. I have a literal story of a kid who came to school the first week of school with 5 different backpacks, one per day, because he had been to 5 events that gave him a backpack.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
yeah, that's
the
interesting.
idea that I work on a whole lot is let's collaborate, not live in our silos. So our church is going to be there not to say it's all about us, but to say whatever we can do to help people. And there's still room for other people who want to come. But it's about all these organizations working together to just say, let's not worry about the name on the door. Let's just help each other and help these kids.
That's interesting because I'm listening in the last 25 to 30 years. I've been involved with a lot of community organizations. I've been on boards. I've just been involved with a lot of things. And I don't know if I've ever heard of an event somebody was expecting 200 to 300 and it was 1,400, right?
Yeah, we were having a fun day too.
That might be, gosh, I don't want this to sound like it's going to come out. That might be the most people that's been in the mall in how long? I mean, I'm just, right?
I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah. Like it's in a.
I have no idea the last time I was in the mall, unfortunately.
Well, August 1st is the next time.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So how did y'all deal with that? Happily?
Well,
I'm still overwhelmed.
We were excited that the people.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, because that's so unusual to hear.
But
a first time event. You just don't hear that.
We were starting. Were we starting at 11 last year, or did we start?
We started at 11,
and so people were lined up at like 9.
Yeah, 9:30.
And that's when we got an idea. Hey, this might be a thing.
Yes.
And the line was around the mall. It was around the food court. It was out the halls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we ran out of stuff, obviously. Sports Clips helped us with hair, for instance. They had to go back and get more coupons because nobody expected the numbers we got.
Well, tell me, so let's get a little more specific. What exactly are you doing? I mean, is that a fair question?
No, it is. So it is a school supply. We are offering school supplies for free. We are offering, Contegra Health is offering sports physicals.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a big deal.
We have the health department, Gaston County Health Department. They're going to have their mobile unit there and doing
scheduling appointments.
Okay. Yep. And then we have free lunch for the families that come. But it's also all those organizations saying, this is what we can do for you. This is what we do. This is, you can come and call us if you need this and this and this. What else do we do? We'll have Wavy Williams there as the DJ.
Okay.
And so for the organizations, you come in and you tell them about what you do, but you're also sharing stuff. There's going to be a school supply room, but then everybody's going to have giveaways and extra things and be there for questions and discussion about what they do.
So as an opportunity for individuals, families to see what's available without having to go to 20 different places that they have to do now. I mean, even I've seen that with all the things I've been involved with over the years is, well, we can help you with this, but you need to go down the street to here to help you to get this help, right? Something specific. Okay. How's this message getting out besides obviously these 3 listeners that
this
are
is our main
this.
Push, but we're going to do other things.
Is it through the school system?
We do have the school system support. So we sent out flyers before the end of the year. We start in about April. Different versions of the flyers as each sponsor comes out. A lot of grassroots efforts, like a personal invitation, giving someone a piece of paper with the QR code. That, y'all don't underestimate the impact of that. Yard signs, social media, just any and every way possible. But again, that personal invitation and our organizations who are coming that day providing that invitation means a lot.
So how many organizations do you know?
What are we at?
We're at 38.
Mm-hmm. And
last year we had 51.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's still some room.
Yeah. Okay.
And they will come, y'all. They will come.
So besides the one you mentioned, is it churches like Joe's Church? Is it, I heard Contegra, I heard Health Department, I heard Great Clips, I heard,
Sports Clips.
Sports Clips, I'm sorry.
We've got.
That might be bad marketing there.
Partnership for Children of Lincoln and Gaston Counties.
Okay,
We have United Way. We have the Friends of the Library. We have Safe Kids. We have Hope United, Healthy Blue, AFC Urgent Care, YMCA, the museums, Head Start, After School Care. I mean, that's just that was a short list from all the registrations.
And lots of food vendors.
Yeah, our
Chick-fil-A,
free meals,
Rams, who else?
Milltown Meats.
Okay. So specifics when? Is that the mall day and time?
August 1st. The event doors will officially open at 11. We're sure that we're going to have a line out the door already, but when they'll be able to come into the mall is at 11. And it's as supplies last. So we know.
Is it the main entrance where the food court is on
It's
that
the
side?
sides by the anchor stores.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so it'll be at the front of the mall this year, where we'll have 2 lines that will be forming at the
north and south entrance that faced
Penny's
east.
and Dillard's. You know where the post office used to be?
Yeah.
That's one of them. The other end is the same place
Okay.
on the other side.
So I'm sure you'll have people there telling people where to go.
Oh yeah,
Signs
and beautiful
also.
big signs.
Okay.
yes, and
Okay.
lots of volunteers. And we can always use more volunteers.
Okay.
Hint, hint.
Wow. Pressure. So when you look back to last year's event, does anything stand out as, well, I mean, 1,400 people, but something stood out that you personally saw that was like, okay, wow, this is why we've gone to the trouble of doing this? An impact that you saw with a family or kids or something that you experienced?
So at the library table, we were talking about all the resources, of course, that the library offers. But one of the resources is a community closet. And we had some information on the table about that. And our director was telling a family, like, oh, yeah, these are at, 9 locations at this point. And the woman just started crying, because it was like, we offer clothes, we have socks, we have toiletries that are available. And she was like, this is all for free, and just was overcome just with the, like, that we had this opportunity that, she could come for the things that we offer at the library, but this is also another thing that was 24/7.
So just awareness.
Conversations.
Yeah, and
a chance to learn.
People becoming aware of what's available.
And just the community spirit of it.
Oh
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, we had because my role was really just making sure that everybody had what they needed, and so I was
She
going
was
and checking.
putting out fires, Stephen. She spent the day putting out fires.
So I was checking on the vendors, but everybody was so happy to be there. They were just like, "This is great, thank you so much," and even the families, when there wasn't anything but maybe one pencil left,
They were still full of joy, and that says a lot from a vendor, because that's the last thing you want to do is say, like, oh, sorry, I'm out. But it's like everybody was so full of joy, even when we were giving out the last hot dogs, like that. Everybody was just so celebratory of everyone else. It was support. It was community.
Bree, was there something specific that you can recall, or similar to what Sarah shared?
I had one when you asked her, and then I forgot it. So,
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's just there.
That's why going first sometimes is better.
Oh, I do. Okay, I do have to tell you all this story.
Okay.
So our volunteers, obviously, we didn't have enough because we thought we were going to have max 500. And Sarah Miller is the reason, as we claim, that the library servers went down the day before from a storm. And because of those library servers going down, all of our libraries closed that morning. And so these people who were supposed to be at the libraries had nowhere to go. So we had library staff from all across Gaston County.
And it was
come.
huge.
Yes. And we needed every single one. And they just stepped in. Like, they could have said, okay, have the day off. But because the servers were down, like, that right there told me, it was like, okay.
That sounds like intervention or sabatage.
Yes.
One or the
yes.
other.
It's like, yeah. It was meant to be. And I take that as a good sign.
That's interesting.
Which
Wow.
means we've got to cover all those empty slots this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the server doesn't go down.
Interesting. Joe, what about you? Something that you can recall?
I loved, like Bree said, the attitude everybody had.
Okay.
When this county comes together for things, I was at the 4th of July thing a couple of weeks ago. Everybody's pretty nice to each other when we just come together.
Yeah.
And it was just people were you would meet somebody you knew 10 years ago, and they would introduce you to the person standing next to them, and it just built those relationships. And I think that makes the community a little stronger. All of a sudden, I know that person, or I've seen that person. And then you learn about the organizations too.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps get people together with a common purpose, right? And who care about our community. And, frankly, I would throw out too that my experience in our community, and not just our community, but in general, let's judge our view of our community and our country and everything else by our personal interactions, not by what you hear and see and what other people are trying to tell us is going on. Because my personal interactions day to day are positive, 99.9% of the time, and I just don't buy this this narrative that we don't like each other. I just don't believe that. And this, you guys are a good example of that, right? And showing firsthand what can happen.
We can dislike groups. It's hard to dislike one-on-one.
Absolutely.
You build relationships.
Absolutely.
One-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that face-to-face thing makes a difference when you're not doing it online or wherever. What's the point? All right. So what's the underlying point that you're trying to accomplish? We talked a little bit about the mission, but you do this for 5 years. What is it you're trying to? You could look. We jump ahead 5 years. We've done it for 5 years. The community's done it for 5 years. I think like I threw we in there, like I've done something. You guys have done this for 5 years. The community has stepped and done this for 5 years. You're able to look back. What progress do you want to see? What impact is it that you're wanting to see to say, wow, yeah, this has been worth me going and sabotaging the servers at the library on the morning of?
I want people to have worked together that way.
Okay.
One of the things we were able to do as vendors, once all the mess was over, was to talk to the other people who were there. Mm-hmm. And even the events we do at the library for different things, you talk to the other people involved, and you're building relationships. I want to say in 5 years, there's not a church that has to do it on their own. There's not an organization that's trying to fill all the needs themselves, but we're working together for the community.
Yeah, making collaboration the expectation and not the exception, truly.
I want them to stick out like a sore thumb if they're doing it by themselves.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, collaboration is not a dirty word, but it seems hard sometimes.
Yes, and that's what, we had a very kind and vocal member, Donna Elliott from Contegra, and she kept saying, let's do this. Let's do this. And we're all like, yeah. But the reality is like, oh, imagine trying to get those people to work together and everyone to work together. But she just kept beating and knocking on that door until finally I was like, okay, let's poke.
Let's see what happens.
Let's let's do this. 'Cause
she lit a fire for so long we all got a little warm.
Yeah, seriously. And each time we thought, okay, no, this isn't working. Somebody somewhere in the organization, somebody showed up and that door opened again and we kept going.
So what would a family 5 years from now, you look back, what would be the specific impact on a family? Is that a fair question, or is that too over the top?
No, I kind of like it because I would hope that they feel the support from the community, that they're not doing it alone, and that they know that they have trusted partners in helping raise these children, because it's too hard to do it by yourself.
Sure.
So you have to have those friends in your corner saying, you can do this.
Maybe they've grown up seeing this happen, and their kindergartner has been with Dolly Parton Imagination Library for 5 years, and they've been to story times, and they've seen different places in the world that have helped them meet their needs. And this has become an annual family thing they do. So the 18-year-old and the 13-year-old and the 5-year-old all know that's what we do in August. We go and we meet people and learn about things and get our school supplies.
And I would love for it to be people reimagining what the school year can look like, because all of those vendors, we have all these after-school care groups, like children and parents can realize different opportunities for what their life looks like September or August through May. And that can open doors into like careers, passions, hobbies. Like, I didn't know the Shield Museum had an after-school care. And then you open a door that could literally change those kids' lives. So you have to just know, though, that those opportunities exist.
Interesting. So I asked that question a while back about how did you get the word out? Well, 1,400 people, obviously, the word got out. What do you expect this year? Or do you have any idea?
You have no idea.
Okay.
Like, Facebook event interested. I think it was like 485 last year is what my little screenshot the night before looked like. So, you think, oh, I have an idea what's going to happen. You don't. But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of library programming, of hosting any community event. But we are preparing for 1,500 to 2,000. So,
wow.
Knock on wood.
Okay.
And we'd love to run out of stuff.
Oh, there better not be anything left over.
No.
I mean, ultimately, that's kind of the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But it does make you a little nervous of, do we have enough stuff?
Yeah.
And so we do have a donation wish list.
Okay. Well, again, listen, the last thing we'll do is make sure our listeners hear about what's the greatest need, where they can go to find more information out and all that. So, is there anything I haven't asked? So one thing we do make our guests endure is some personal questions. Okay. Have you ever listened to Gaston's Great Podcast?
So before that, there are things you can sign up for ahead of time, right? There are things we have appointments for.
Oh yeah,
that
is an important. Yes,
let's go ahead and hit that one.
Contegra Health. Those appointments to get the physicals done, the pre-kindergarten checklist, all of that. Those need to be done, or you need to sign up for those ahead of time. They're going to try to have walk-ins appointments available, but they are limited. If you want to call Contegra Health, you should be seeing a link on our event page. We're using Facebook event to get the word out and get those updates in. But that is something you want to sign up for ASAP as a parent.
So if they go on Facebook and they search just the Ready, Set, Grow event, is that how they find it, or is it under something else?
I highly recommend bit.ly 2026 Ready, Set, Grow. That's the easiest way to get to it.
Okay. Okay.
But call Contegra. Look, we don't have the QR code up. We don't have the QR code up for the Contegra Health immunizations because this is something brand new. These appointments, like they're having to figure out on their website.
We had to find out where we were putting them in
Understood.
the building.
Yeah, which we've gotten very creative. So all of that.
So that might be a coming soon.
It's
thing.
a coming soon,
Okay.
and it's a worthwhile thing. And once it's finalized, it will be advertised everywhere. So keep an eye out for that.
And we're going to have the whole lower level of the mall. We're going to have people from end to end, and it's going to be a great environment.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Anything else that I haven't asked before we start to land this plane after we make you endure some?
I do have some sponsors I'd like to shout out.
Please do.
Because we have a principals list, which is Contegra Health and CaroMount Health. We have Honor Roll, which is F1 Mechanical. We have our Lunchroom Legend, which is Food Lion. Our bookworm sponsor is Friends of the Gaston County Public Library. And then our teacher's pet is the Healthy Blue of North Carolina, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay.
And Chick-fil-A on Cox Road is
yeah.
helping a lot, too.
All right. Well, very good. All right. So like I said, before we finish, we will make sure we swing back around and repeat the Facebook page. I Googled it, and it came up on a Gaston Gov page, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably go Gaston.
It was. It was Go Gaston. Yeah. Wow, we got it going on. But we do make our listeners endure a few questions. This is the kind of things that your family, friends, this is what they want to know about y'all. Okay, and they may not have heard this stuff before. And Joe's going to answer first. And some of these questions might have been you might have been on the first time you were on, Joe, but also
I'm ADD. I don't remember.
These might be completely different. So the first question is very straightforward, very simple. What is something very few people know about you?
Oh, my life is so public.
That's not an acceptable answer.
I was going to go to business school when God decided I was going to be a pastor.
Yeah.
That
but
was
you
a
also
long time
accepted
ago.
that. Oftentimes I don't want to hear what God has to tell me. I don't want to, because he might tell me to do something I don't want to do. Bree, how would you answer that?
I did my studying and knew you were going to ask that question. I'm an open book. So I don't, all the time as a librarian, you get asked, what's your favorite genre? What do you like to read? And I have the very, I just say, oh, graphic novels. Oh, I read more picture books than anything. I really like the very boring, contemporary, coming-of-age, classic novel that your high school teacher assigned and you hated. Like, those are my favorites, like The Bell Jar, Tree Grows in Brooklyn. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a secret because no library patron gets excited when you say, my favorite book is Sylvia Plath.
Yeah, that's a very librarian answer.
Thanks.
Little Women still is my favorite. Okay, so I didn't have any pets until like 7 years ago, and now like we have three rescue dogs. But I was very anti-pet for a very, very long time, and you wouldn't guess
and
that.
And then
now.
you were rescued.
Then I was rescued. Yeah. But you wouldn't guess that I was so anti-pet. No way, we were not going to have pets. But now,
so what brought that on? Just
yeah, that's I think my kids were getting
older. Sometimes it's better not to know the answer to that question.
My kids were getting older, and then I was like, what am I going to take care of now?
Fair enough. Yeah, well, my wife and I have a little rescue dog. It's terrific. Uh-oh. Have a video problem? Okay. I'm not supposed to ask those questions like right in the middle of recording the podcast, am I? All right, Sarah, if you could have coffee or dinner with one historical figure, who would it be and why?
Eleanor Roosevelt. There's a book in the library that's actually Eleanor and Amelia Go for a Ride. So it's Eleanor had Amelia Earhart at the White House, and they had dinner. But after dinner, they went on a car ride in the dark streets of Washington, D.C. And so I would have loved to have that dinner and then go on a ride.
Hear
with
what they were talking about?
Eleanor and Amelia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Bree, how would you answer that one?
I'm gonna look like such a geek and a nerd. I'm I've been really into listening to Charles Stanley, the preacher. That's seriously.
I listen to Andy Stanley's, his son's podcast every single week.
I love it so much. And my little women's group all the time, they're like, aren't you a little young for Charles Stanley?
Really?
And I'm
wow.
over here quoting, well, Charles Stanley says.
Wow.
And I've just I've been learning to go with the flow. You can't control everything except for Ready, Set, Go, sort of. But not really. And that's been one of my, all my golden lines are coming from him this year. So Charles Stanley 2026.
No, listen, if you study him at all, you have an open mind. He had it going on.
He did.
He had some really good things.
He had it going
on.
And
Andy's one of the guys I listen to about.
Yeah, he's got a great leadership podcast. I'm all about leadership all the time because I think everything rises and falls on that. And but yeah, he's got a great. Matter of fact, I think it might be playing right now when I get back in my vehicle. I think that's what's playing today. How would you answer that one?
George H.W. Bush. He is so interesting. You can say it politically, but as a person, the relationships most of our former presidents have with each other, the real friendships, the things he's done in sports and in business and in politics, and he seems like he's still a person who really cares about people. So limiting it to America, cutting out our Lord and Savior and the apostles.
That's a no. We can't. Yeah, I wouldn't have allowed that one.
I would say if people alive,
that's an obvious
he would
one.
really be mine.
Yeah, he might have been. Was he the last president that served in World War II? He might have been.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that's interesting and something that can be missing. But I'm just old school. There's a good answer. This is an unfair question.
I think his dad was the last. Because Bill obviously didn't, and I don't think he did.
So you said George H.W. or George W. was your answer?
Oh, George. Oh, hold it. The younger Bush.
Okay,
George W.
Okay, you said George H.W.
Yeah,
okay, so I think you're right. I think his dad. So
he was an interesting person too.
Yes.
He directed the CIA and became president. There's got to be some stories there.
And working with Ronald Reagan too, that would have been interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just I probably should have marked this one off, especially for your library individuals, but how about a book, blog, newsletter, podcast, something. I'm starting with you first.
Oh, you're starting with me first.
So something that you might recommend to our listeners. I used to always say book, but in modern world, there's so many other ways to listen and learn.
I don't do podcasts.
Well,
except you, of course. I every time one comes out,
nice recovery.
I do. Books, the big biographies.
Okay.
There was the one about Hamilton that led to all that. Jackson. Looking forward to a really good work on Kissinger. Learning about leaders from people.
I don't know much.
after
I don't know
they're
about
gone.
him. I don't know much about him, other than the headlines.
He was so much of so many things
sure.
that happened in the 70s. Yeah.
Bree, you're up. You kind of already shared that, but so I'm gonna force you to say something else.
I'm like over here racking my brain. Sarah, take over for me.
I love podcasts. Mel Robbins' podcast.
Oh yeah, she's like number one in the country now.
Yeah, really interesting. I always get some nuggets from her conversations with her guests.
Have you read the Let Them Theory book?
I haven't read it.
Okay.
I just keep listening to that podcast.
Yeah,
You stole my book.
Good.
The Let Them.
Can we block that out? Delete that out? Yeah.
But it is, yeah. And I was like, oh, she saved me. And then you swooped in and just grabbed it up. Oh.
So we're waiting.
I know.
We're going to go to the next question?
Yes.
All right. So besides Ready, Set, Grow event, besides that, why would you say Gaston County is such a great place?
I think Ready, Set, Grow is a good example of why it's such a good place. Is all us
Oh, I
coming
love
together.
that.
I mean,
that was beautiful.
That is exactly why it's great. It's because we had nothing. We all came together in January of last year. We came together, came up with a name and what we were going to do, and built it from just nothing. And look at where we're now. We're on a podcast
With shirts.
with shirts.
Is it my turn?
It is.
I do have an answer.
You are
to
the
this one.
native in the group.
Well, that's
true.
So am I.
Yeah, okay, thank you. What makes Gaston great? Honestly, the people that are doing the things that need to be done, having the conversations, hosting the events, volunteering, doing the work rather than just talking about it or wishing on it. Those people are just shining, especially at this point in time. I'm so proud of our community. Every time I go onto Facebook or I look at a blog or something, I'm just so impressed that we are doing it. We're not just talking about it. So that's very different from 10 years ago. Also, my answer to the book is Pete the Cat.
Oh.
Because everyone needs to have a Pete the Cat mentality. It's all good.
I got nothing. But I'm not surprised. If it's popular and good, I wouldn't know about it.
It's a kid's book, but it's really sarcastic and.
No, it's about, you know what? If you get a stain on your shoes, it's all good.
I would agree with Bree. I work with different people in different venues, and for a county of 200,000 people, we're really working hard to solve some big problems. And it's not everybody's giving it to somebody else. There are a lot of people really caring, and everybody's got different things they're working on, but really working to help others. And I think that's the genius of it.
Yeah, I would agree. I've been around so long and involved in the community so long, it does seem to be a shift. I don't know the time frame, 10 years maybe, where we felt like we were moving from maybe more toward why not us, and less
Stop
of that. To
feeling
your point,
bad about ourselves.
Yeah, and to your point, Bree, there was a lot of should.
Mm-hmm.
People saying, well, you should do that, instead of, well, let's go do this as a group.
Yeah.
And so, talk is cheap, right? That classic thing. And so there's a lot of action that is been going on. And I don't know what it coincided with, but at some point, maybe people just got tired of it.
Did it take us about a decade to get over the mills closing?
Maybe.
Yeah,
That
I
might
point that
time
out.
frame.
And there's in that, that negativity. Of course,
That was grief.
and
That was communal grief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Charlotte has become the gateway to Gastonia. So
I've got that T-shirt.
I do too. I do too. I need to start wearing it to this podcast. But yeah, I do think that general attitude has changed. I'm seeing more, or hearing and seeing more okay, instead of I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Try it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a great example, right? You guys are a great example of that. So I appreciate that. Last question. Knowing what you know now, Joe, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Oh, my cow. Study harder. Don't spend that money. Realize you're going to end up in North Carolina for most of your career. I was going to be here 2 weeks.
Really?
That was in 94.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
well, good for us.
yours is a lot closer.
I know,
than
was that like?
Bree's like, that's last week, right?
I wish.
That was only. Well, I'm guessing. Well, I'm not going to guess. I know better than that. I know
no,
better than. Well, I can do math. If you graduated in 2013.
Yeah, exactly.
My son graduated in 2017, so I know how old he is.
Let's see. It's all gonna work out. Worry less. Study less, honestly. Like it,
That's because
no
you
one
were a
cares
good
if you have a
student.
4.0 GPA. No one asks you that question.
That's true. Like here, we don't. Yeah, we don't ask that question. We
But
ask.
you could.
We ask, did you finish?
Ah.
I mean, that's what we're looking for. People who can finish something. We didn't. Yeah, never look at anybody's transcripts or any of that.
Yeah, because it's like, did you get across the finish line? Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it all does work itself out. So, yeah.
That's a really good one, and we've heard that a few times with that question. But God, yeah, when I was 20, the things I was worried about and thought were important. I mean, give me a break, right? Give me a break. The things I had anxiety over were just not worth it. All right.
I think mine is slow down.
No, I like that.
I had 3 kids before I was 30, so it was just trying to keep up, and it was all fine. They didn't need all the things, so slow down.
When you are that young, you think you've got to accomplish everything. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I've told a lot of young adult pastors is, it's not all go happen in the first 5 years. Spend time building relationships. Before you have kids, go places. Yeah.
And that whole cliche that it speeds up so fast with kids. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. I mean, 2 of my kids are grown and gone. And so, in fact, interestingly, the last 2 weekends, my wife and I have gone to their houses to eat dinner.
Oh.
It was very strange. We got invited to go eat dinner with our children, and I was like, wow, we had to take anything. We did, but we didn't have to.
If my kids are listening, we'll do that. Just invite us.
I mean, that cliche is so accurate. All right, this has been really good. So last word, let's repeat, where can our listeners go to find out more information? Let's just repeat the date, location, what's the greatest needs. Let's get that out and finish this one up.
Okay, so Saturday, August 1st, 11 to 2 at East Ridge Mall, lower level. You can find us at
bit.ly/2026 Ready, Set, Grow.
And we need school supplies and volunteers. And if your organization would like to sign up, we also have that information on our Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Any specific school supplies or just anything?
We have an Amazon wish list that you can get off the page.
But I would love to see some pencil pouches, y'all. That's
pencil
one thing.
Pouches.
Yes, that's asked all across the board.
Interesting. Okay.
And typically babies can go through like 2 of those a year. So, hint, hint, wink, wink. Pretty please.
All right. Any other last words about the event, the community, anything you guys want to share before we close this?
It will be fun. You might have to wait in a line, but you'll meet some wonderful people, and you'll have a chance to learn more about your community.
What he said.
That's pretty good. Leave it to Joe. Anything else, Sarah, the person in charge?
That's only because I've got great people helping me. So I couldn't do this by myself. It's all of us together, for sure. So, yeah, come and join us.
All right,
Happy
so
to have you.
I appreciate it, and it's rare to hear of an event that has exploded like that. I've seen a lot of stuff go on, stop in Gaston County over the years, but I just don't recall ever an event that went from, we hope to have a couple hundred here, and let's have 1,400 show up, and now maybe 1,500 to 2,000 this year. Maybe it'll be 2,500.
Don't wish that. Not unless we have that many pencil pouches.
But I do appreciate the work that you are doing and have done. It's important, and the message that I probably maybe took most from this is letting families know, they're not alone, right? Yes. Families can feel that way. I mean, or it's, I'm the only family, we're the only parents that are dealing with this, right? And that's not true. No. And so it's good to have that collaboration. Again, that's great. I appreciate the work that you're doing. So, and normally I have like a book recommendation or quote. I got nothing this week. It's a Tuesday. I'm so used to Wednesday. I was lucky to get y'all's names right. I was lucky to show up here at 3:00 or whenever we were supposed to record. So, to our listeners out there, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to today's episode. Please continue to spread the word if you can about the podcast, and don't hesitate to contact us here at the email address, which is podcast@gastonsgreat.com. We are always looking for suggestions for future podcast topics and guests. You can find the podcast and subscribe at the website, gastonsgreat.com, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please follow us on all our social media platforms. Thanks again to Sarah and Bree and Joe for being our guests today. Gaston's Great is produced and brought to you by Amber Hauser from GSM Services. I'm your host, Stephen Long. Thanks again for hanging out with us, and please keep coming back to hear more reasons why Gaston's great.